That's the view coming in from the House of Angel Broking, but lots more earnings, so let's address another set. Tata Power, Anil Sardana, the CEO and MD from the company, joins us on the show right now. Anil, hi, good afternoon. While giving us the key takeaways, tell us a little bit more about what the Q3 PLF was, what improvement have you seen in coal realizations, and how have your overseas operations fared?
At Tata Power, we have stopped looking at quarter-by-quarter challenges. This is a long-term business, and I guess we are clearly clued on to the long-term working. Each quarter will have different coal prices, particularly because for us, as you know, that both from coal mines as well as from Mundra perspective, we have to clearly look at the coal prices as are prevailing. But if you keep looking at the coal prices, nothing is in your control, but what we look at as the perfect hedge that works between the coal mines and the Mundra. So as you know that the coal prices increased in the short term, and you must have seen that it provided a perfect hedge in terms of the fact that we got more profitability from coal mines than we had the pressure on Mundra. As far as plant load factor is concerned, again that's a subject matter that we don't monitor at all. We look at our availability profile, and once we make the plant available, it is for the procurers to draw power, because the plant is available and it is upon their load curves and their connected load that the generation plant load factor will depend. So availability of all plants was very high, and it was upwards of the 85% norms that we have. And at Mundra we tend to work towards 80% availability, because that's what gets us the entire fixed cost.
What's the uptick in domestic coal prices, and if it's expected to remain firm, then how do you see your standalone operations getting impacted?
Tata Power standalone has a very little effect of the domestic coal prices. As you know that Tata Power standalone has just the Jamshedpur unit, which is dependent on domestic coal prices. Otherwise, the larger part of standalone has Trombay plant, which is based on imported coal, as also the entire working of the other facilities like hydro plants and Jojobera and Haldia, and many of the renewables are not dependent on domestic coal prices.
Right. So what's the debt on your books now, and what are the plans for debt reduction?
Now let me give you the perspective on debt. Our debt absolute number is about 44,000 crores, and this forms close to about 2.6 in terms of debt equity ratio. We were at 2.3 or just below that before the acquisition. As you all know that we did the acquisition through a short-term debt, and there is certainly going forward a plan to make sure that that's swapped and replaced with equity funds. So all efforts are being done to work towards that.
Just hold on to that thought. We'll have to go across to Larsen and Toubro as they announced their JV.